Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar, where we sit down and talk with interesting professional guitar players, uncover their stories, and discover what makes them tick. If you love guitar, music, and the backstory of people's lives, stick around. You're in the right place. This episode of Everyone Loves Guitar is brought to you by Taylor Guitars and their new Grand Pacific Round Shoulder Dreadnought. Powered by Taylor's breakthrough V-Class bracing system, the Grand Pacific gives you a warm, seasoned sound with clear low-end power and notes that are stronger, longer sustaining, and more in tune with each other all the way up the fretboard. Make sure you check it out online at taylorguitars.com, then go out and play one today. That's the new Grand Pacific at taylorguitars.com. Did you know if your instrument or any of your gear is damaged, broken, or stolen outside your home, your homeowner's insurance policy will not cover any of it? That's right. Homeowner's insurance only pays if something happens inside your home. But Music Pro Insurance insures all your music gear, no matter where it is, anywhere in the world, even when you check it in as baggage on an airline. Here, let me give you some examples. Let's say you're in a car accident and your equipment is damaged, you're covered. Your kid pours apple juice into your amplifier, covered. Someone spills beer all over your pedal board at a gig somewhere across the world, boom, you're covered. Any kind of theft or accidental damage is covered, even water damage from hurricanes and breakage from earthquakes. But here's what makes Music Pro really different. They're not going to argue with you over the value of your instrument or make you run around looking for receipts when it comes time to paying your claim. They know exactly why your vintage instrument is worth 10 times more than a new one. Plus, all claims are typically paid and fully settled in 24 to 48 hours. So if your equipment is not insured properly, go to musicproinsurance.com, hit standard, then enter your information and get a free gear protection estimate. Don't be that player who ignores this, and then next month when something happens, you're wondering why you didn't take 10 minutes to do this properly. Make sure you go to musicproinsurance.com, enter your information, and get a free gear protection estimate. If something happens, you will be thanking me. Trust me on this. musicproinsurance.com. The Be Fulfilled Journal helps you be more honest with yourself and with others and be more open to handling things you've avoided dealing with for years. It's a 12-week online and journal program that helps you identify and eliminate things you do that are causing you stress and live in more gratitude and joy. It was actually developed by a long-term friend of mine who got sober in 2008, and he's put together a great deal just for my listeners. You get the 300-page hardcover journal and access to the 12-week video program online, plus free shipping, plus membership in a private Facebook support group with others going through the program, plus a 5-day mini course showing you how to let go of stuff that's draining your energy, plus a 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. To start your journey and get all the bonuses, go to BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. That's BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. For information about advertising on Everyone Loves Guitar, including information on geographically targeted ads, go to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. That's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. Hi, this is Craig. Just want to let you know you can now advertise here on Everyone Loves Guitar podcast. For more information, go to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. That's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. Hey, everybody, this is Craig Garber. Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar. And it's not often that I get to see the wonderful guitarists I interview play live. Sometimes I do, but I actually saw my guest playing live. What did I see at the Acme? I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And on Broadway in Nashville. I'm with Austin John, and he was playing. He had a gold top that day, and he had this gorgeous Harmony Strada Tone that I had just sort of recently been turned on to those, and he just tore it up, man. He burned it. I mean, he was just crushing it all night. And I just went over and started talking to him, asked him to come on the show. And then I had to cancel our first appointment, and he was kind enough to be patient and wait. And so we're lucky to have Austin John with us today. Let me tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll get right into it. Austin's originally from Auburn, New York, grew up on a a family dairy farm and started getting serious about guitar when he was around 16. He quickly fell in love with early rhythm and blues and rock and roll, and that's what his band, the Hi-Jivers, primarily plays. In the fall of 2014, after playing up in Syracuse area for a few years, his girlfriend Dawna Zahn and him decided to move to Nashville to pursue a music career. In February of 2015, they formed the Hi-Jivers with bassist Hank Miles. Their sound is inspired by their love of early rhythm and blues and rock and roll, as I mentioned. They've had the pleasure of performing at Viva Las Vegas, the New York State Blues Fest, Nashville Boogie, Road Rocket Rumble, as well as local venues in Nashville. The Hi-Jivers recently released their first LP. It's called Something's Gotta Shake. They'll be touring Europe and the Northeast U.S. as well. Austin, thanks so much for your time, and I really appreciate you coming.
Hey, good to be here.
Man, congratulations on the new record.
Thank you.
It's a proper, it's not like an EP, it's a full-length album, man.
Yeah, we put out 2 EPs before that, so this is our first
very cool. Well, I want to talk about that during the conversation. What prompted you you were like from a really, I looked on the map because I'm from New York City, and you know, when you're from New York City, you know nothing north of Westchester anyway, right? So I looked on I looked on the map. Auburn's like a pretty far suburb of Syracuse, it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's still like 45 minutes from Syracuse.
Yeah. It's beautiful upstate New York, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But what prompted you to leave that small town and move to Nashville? Big move.
Yeah, I was actually in college at Oneonta.
SUNY Oneonta.
Yeah. And first I went to OCC and then I went to Oneonta. But throughout that whole time, all I wanted to do was play music. I was basically going to school to have a backup plan, you know, in case it doesn't work out or something. But I had a few buddies that were like, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Nashville. You know, it's like the it city, I think. And they all kind of bailed on me, actually. And I was dating Dawna at the time. And I was like, hey, we should move to Nashville. You know, we should start a band down there and, you know, get it rolling. And that's basically what we did. I just kept hearing about Nashville being a great city for musicians, and that's what I wanted to be. And I was honestly contemplating Austin too. You know, there's so much history there, and music there too. But I think I made the right move because we both love it here.
That's cool, man. It's a nice. People there are very nice, man. Really nice people there.
It's a great vibe.
Was she in Oneonta as well?
No, she wasn't. I was playing guitar in her band at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
And you know, we started dating and stuff, and I was like, we need to get out of this little town here. And
no, good for you, man. That takes a lot of balls to do that. I give you a lot of credit, man. It's not.
Thanks. Yeah.
I tell you what I really respect is that when you said that, and I've heard this consistently with lots of people I've interviewed. You said something like, "I was there for a backup plan, but what I really wanted to do is pursue music," and then you just like followed your dream. You did what you wanted to do, man. Yeah.
Well, I knew I would always regret it if I just never tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be doing some job just bummed out. Like, oh man, I should have did what I wanted to do. Because I mean,
you imagine being an accountant right now?
Yeah. But I mean, like most people, like are in college, you know, they party and they do whatever. The whole time I was just playing and listening to music and, you know, playing in Syracuse. I'd drive to Syracuse just about every weekend to go play or something. And that was all I cared about. So when I got out, I was like, all right, here we go. Let's get out of here.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Families are supportive of it?
100%. Yeah.
That's
Everybody
great.
Was. Still is, you know.
It's funny.
Which means a lot, you know, it really does.
That's the number one quality that successful musicians have. Like 99, almost 100% of the people, their families were supportive. Even if the family was like dysfunctional, like if there was alcoholism or, you know, like they had beyond the normal level of dysfunctional shit that we all have to deal with, the family was super supportive. And that's always, you know, pretty common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
like you got to do what you got to do. Go follow your dream, you know?
That's very cool.
It is.
Syracuse is beautiful. I wanted to go to that school, and I went up there, and like I couldn't afford it. You know, my dad was a toll collector on the highway, you know, and we get up there, and then they say, hey, we're giving you a bunch of scholarship. I'm like, great, I can go. But we're taking away all the financial aid that you got dollar for dollar. I'm like, what? So you're giving me net zero. That doesn't do anything. Anyway, but it's a beautiful area up there. I really love it.
It is.
You had some mentors up there.
I did, yeah. There was a guy named Colin Alberdine. He used to run an open mic at Shifty's at the time. I don't know. I must have been 21 or something, but so I went in there one night and he was playing, and he has a house band. They play like 5 songs or something. Then the open mic starts. And he's like a blues musician, and he does a lot of other stuff too. But when he first started playing, and I was just like, holy crap! Like, this guy's awesome. His voice, his playing, everything.
What's his name? Colin Alberdine?
Yep, Aberdeen. Yep. And he's got a band called the Los Blancos in Syracuse, and they're probably one of the most popular bands in Syracuse. And so I went up there and I played with his band at the time. I think it was Mark Tifo and Booth Johnson, and he just was like, "Wow, you're really good. Like, what's your deal? Blah 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 blah. And he just kind of started helping me get gigs. Hey, meet this guy. He can help you with this, or he can help you get gigs here. Which is really important when you're trying to start out. You don't know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah.
Other than playing the guitar, that's all I knew really how to do. So he just kind of took me under his wing, and it meant a lot. It still does mean a lot. Like, I saw him when we went to New York last and just talked to him for a little while. He's just a really good dude. Yeah.
Have you told him?
Oh, he knows.
That's cool, man. Give him a shout out. Shout out to Colin, man. Thank you for your support of Austin.
And he's helped a bunch of people that were starting out up there that he really liked. So
very cool, man.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
It's good. I think it's important, man. If you have a mentor, I think it makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now, I hope I'm not sticking my foot in my mouth here. I saw you and your girlfriend got engaged recently.
We did.
Thank God. I didn't screw that up. My God, that would have been awkward. I thought so. Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
so
just last month we did.
That's awesome, man. I wish you many years of good times and fun.
Well, thank you.
And minimal arguing. So my question is, what are the upsides and the challenges of, the good and the bad, I guess, of having a partner that is not just your romantic and emotional partner, but in your band partner? Because I know it's not like having somebody else.
Right. I mean,
wait a minute. First, who's the boss? You don't need to answer that one. There's no upside to answering that.
I'm going to say we both try to do.
That's cool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it's amazing because, we get to share the same passion, and we get to play gigs, and just like, some of the gigs are really good. We get to travel and play places, and we just like, you get to experience that with the person you love, which is really rare. That
is rare.
And I don't know. I mean, the challenges aren't really, I don't know. I don't think of it like that way at all. It's just, you got to leave stuff at home when you play, and that's about it.
And I'm assuming if you have an argument, you're able to put it together and just
totally.
You
gotta, we try to be as professional as you possibly can every time we play. And I don't know, man. You think there'd be a lot more challenges, but we just cruise control. We just do our thing,
Good, man. I hope it's always like that for you guys.
Yeah. And she's a really great person, so it makes it easy.
There you go, man. You know what? I'll tell you one thing. She's really serious, because when I watched some videos of you guys, and she's not dicking around up there, man. She's in total control. She's very deliberate, and she's very into what she's doing, and that energy comes across like that, man. So whatever you're doing together is working. You had some bands. You together, when you formed the Hi-Jivers, you said that was, I guess, in February 2015, but you had some bands before that you had mentioned.
Yeah. When I first started playing guitar, I formed a band with a couple of my buddies. It was called the Bluefield Blues Band. And we were just, I was just starting to play guitar, and we were just some buddies in high school messing around, playing music and playing gigs here and there. And then while I was going to college, I started my own group called the Austin John Band. And I was actually playing with members of Colin's band. The drummer was Mark Tifo, and then Booth Johnson, and then actually David Olson, the drummer for the Robert Cray band. He was up in Syracuse living.
Oh, that's great. He's from that area, Robert Cray?
I I don't think I think he was from Seattle.
Okay,
I could be wrong though.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah, but yeah, I started the Austin John Band, which was everything I loved at the time, which was Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Allman Brothers, and it was like blues rock kind of stuff. And did that until I moved to Nashville. And right before I moved to Nashville, I played with Dawna's band, the Silver Queen Casket Company, for it was about half a year or something.
Is that how you guys met? You auditioned for a band, or you?
Well, we actually went to high school together, and we knew each other, kind of loosely.
Right.
Well, we all had friends of the same friends and stuff. I think she was a grade ahead of me, and once I joined her band, then it was like, yeah, that's when we kind of hit it off. And
that's nice, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, in my band, it was just I was obsessed with Jimi Hendrix, so fuzz pedals and octafuzzes and.
Did you always have? I want to talk about guitars later, but one thing that's just come to mind: did you always have older guitars?
No, not always.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, it was just whatever I could find, I would play.
Sure.
But now I'm kind of obsessed with it, so it's grown into something.
Well, good, man. Again, we'll talk about this in a few minutes because I do want to find out more about your collection. Do you do either one of you or Dawna, do gigs outside of the Hi-Jivers?
I do gigs outside of the Hi-Jivers. Dawna really doesn't. She just kind of stays with the group, I play now and then with this kid named McKinley James, he's 17 years old. He's unbelievable.
Is he in what's his name's band? Because what's the guy I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, J.D. McPherson.
No, the guy up Broadway who takes all the young kids that are. Like,
oh no, that's Don Kelly. No,
Robert, Don Kelly, right. Sorry.
No. He's Jason Smay's son. Jason's like an amazing drummer.
Okay.
But anyway, this kid is just unbelievable, blues, soul, rock and roll singer. And I get hired now and then to be another guitar player to play with him.
That's great.
And then, yeah, it's so much fun. And I play with my buddy in the Bullhorn Boys. It was like Delta Blues stuff. He actually just moved away, but we used to play together like Delta Blues and ragtime kind of stuff. And then I got another buddy, Patrick Sweeney. He's got a group called the Tiger Beats, and I'll play with him. It's just all old school blues stuff now and then. I'm just a sub usually.
You're very consistent though in all the music you're playing. You're not like playing country one weekend and
no, it's usually all the same stuff.
Yeah. Is that your are you now known for that around town?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many players, but I mean, I also play with a guy now and then named Zach Ryan, who's a really good guitar player too. That stuff's more, he'll do like 50s and 60s stuff, but he'll also branch out into heavier stuff sometimes. So that's kind of fun to play with,
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah.
So the record you did, the new record, again, it's called Something's Gotta Shake.
Mm-hmm.
You recorded it on tape, not digital.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious what prompted you to do that. And also you recorded it out in Hollywood, not in Nashville where you are. So tell me about the whole process and the whole scoop on that.
Well, there's a guy named Reb Kennedy who owns Wild Records, and I think he caught wind of us do like a video online or something. He said, "Hey, I want you guys to come out to California and record an album here." He lives out in Pasadena. So
basically you had a record label wanting to pay for the recording and all that stuff.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, and, wow. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. So we went out there, and he's got a home studio right behind his house. And we cut it in one day. And then the next day we just went in for like a couple hours or something. And it was a really good experience, but the tape is just warmer, compared to digitally, and we're like a kind of a throwback roots band anyway. So
yes.
That's kind of what we go for. That's the sound we love. Digital can be stale, I guess is the only word I can think of. You know what I mean? So yeah, he does it all. It's all to tape, and everything was live. We just went in there, set up, just started playing.
Did you do, how many takes average for each song?
It was like 3 tops. I mean, because we had like one day, so it was like you gotta do your thing, keep it moving, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a fun experience. So we never been to California before, so we were just like soaking it in.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah, it was really cool. And we got to play. We played in Long Beach the first night we were there, and then we actually got to play at the Roxy, opening up for the Blasters, who we love.
Oh, you're kidding me! That is such a good gig.
Yeah, it was killer. It was killer.
Who was playing guitar that night for the Blasters? Besides Dave, Dave was there. Dave Alvin, right?
Yeah, it was Keith. Keith, I can't remember his last name, but it was Keith something. Sweetheart. I don't know why I can't think of his last name right now, but
very cool, man.
And it was funny because I had a guitar teacher right when I started playing guitar, and Keith and the Blasters was his guitar teacher because my guitar teacher went to Berkeley.
That is wild, man.
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is a small world.
Man, the music business, I've found it really is incredibly small.
I think it's Keith Wyatt. Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, that's his name. That's very cool, man.
Yep. And that was, I mean, we love the Blasters, so it was just like a trip.
Yeah, I would imagine
and
you
Big
guys
Sandy
do.
was there too. We love Big Sandy.
Very cool, man. So overall, everything was really sound like it was working all the way it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, man. What did you learn in the process of making this record?
Try to take our time next time. Just kind of just let it breathe. We did it all in one day, and I felt like it was a little rushed, but we just got to take our time next time.
Yeah. Well, next time you probably have more clout and more credibility too. It's your first time. It's not like you can't you're the new kid on the block. You can't say, hey, listen, man, we're not doing this in one day. We do our records in 2 days,
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool though. But just to find, like I said, congratulations, just to find a record company nowadays that's wanting to fund this whole thing for you.
Yeah. And Reb Kennedy, the guy that put it together, he's a great guy. Sweetheart.
Is that style of music on his albums, on his records? Like, is that they specialize in?
All of his albums are like early rock and roll sounding.
Okay, so it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real raw sounding.
You grew up, as I said, in Auburn, really rural. What was your childhood like growing up there on a family dairy farm?
It was pretty awesome, honestly. I mean, just working on the farm with my grandfather and my dad and my grandmother. It was just, looking back on it, it was a really blessed way to grow up,
That's great.
Hardworking. At the time, you're a kid, all you want to do is hang out with your friends and go do other stuff. So doing chores and stuff was kind of annoying. But, I mean, looking back on it, having that structure was really cool.
Oh, that work ethic. I'm sure you could you could outwork anybody, man. No, I mean, work ethic is big in becoming successful in anything, in music, anything, So, totally. I mean, growing up on I read an article one time that said growing up on a farm and being and working in a small family business are the two, you learn work better than doing anything else there, man.
Yeah. I mean, my grandfather was the hardest working person I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was there at 5 a.m. and he was there till 6 p.m. every single day.
Wow. Very cool, man.
Yeah. And we used to have a ton of fun. I mean, we had dirt bikes and four-wheelers and, a bunch of land. We'd just be crazy kids.
Very cool. Did you have a big family?
No, I just had one brother. Yep. He's a couple years older.
What turns you on? Because it sounds like you've always been into early, rock and R&B. What turns you on most about that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, until I picked up the guitar, I mean, I only listened to I don't know, whatever's on the radio, classic rock, That's what my dad would listen to. But I was riding the school bus one day and my friend gave me a Jimi Hendrix CD. I think it was Are You Experienced? And it just blew my mind. I mean, I heard Red House and I was like, what was that? That was the coolest thing I've ever heard,
That is very cool.
And I was like, oh, that's blues, So then my mom convinced me to get a Stevie Ray Vaughan CD. And, Stevie Ray Vaughan's like the gateway drug to blues. So
the gateway drug to blues. That's funny.
he is.
Depending upon how old you are. Yes, I get it. Totally. That's funny.
But I mean, he's one of those guys that just opens your mind to so many things, because he was so influenced by so many different people. So once I heard Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan, I was like, okay, well, who did Stevie get all this stuff from? And then I started listening to Elmore James and Muddy Waters and B.B. King and Johnny Guitar Watson and Robert Johnson. You just keep diving. I'm still doing that today, just trying to learn.
Very cool, man.
Everything, But then, I mean, once I heard the blues stuff, it was like I've been obsessed with it ever since. It never gets old to me for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm the same way. I'm a blues guy. I love listening to blues. I love playing blues. It just feels very good all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels better than others depending on who's playing it, but it always feels like it's the right place to be,
Mm-hmm. And when I first started, I love that psychedelic kind of stuff. I mean, like even Jefferson Airplane and
Yorma's a great guitar. He does that for that era better than anybody, man.
Oh yeah.
On the rock angle anyway.
Yep. So I was pretty influenced by that. And then it just, then Stevie Ray Vaughan, and now it's like all early rhythm and blues I'm just obsessed with,
Yeah.
It's just, just keep diving and diving.
Do you have any, what are you looking to do short and long term? Anything's going through your mind that you're looking to accomplish?
I mean, as far as like the band and stuff?
Yeah.
Definitely more touring and traveling, and festivals is like the big thing we want to do. Start opening for people, but just getting around the whole country, and we're going to start doing that this year. We're going to Europe and doing a couple tours, and we just gotta, we've been primarily playing in Nashville a lot. We just kind of get out of here a little bit, and because we got a bunch of fans that live all over the place, because they come to Nashville, they see you. And they're always like, hey, come play out here and blah, blah, blah. And we've gone to Ohio a few times, and surprisingly you show up and there's a bunch of people there, and just like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, that's what your fan base.
Yeah, we just want to start touring and traveling and just getting after it really, really hard,
Are you booking the gigs yourself, like Europe? And
Dawna and I do the book.
That's great. That's a lot of work.
It is. Yeah, it can be frustrating, but super rewarding too.
Oh yeah, man. Just keep making those calls. A bunch of people are going to say no, but all you need is the one to say yes. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about gear for a little bit. I know you are a collector. What is your number one guitar right now? And what other two guitars round out your top three? And then if you want to talk about your collection in general.
Definitely my number one is I have a Fender Custom Shop 54 Stratocaster. So it's basically the exact specs of a 54 Stratocaster.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never be able to
neck.
afford. What's that? Yeah, huge neck. Yeah, huge neck, big U-shaped neck. I'll never be able to afford a real 54, so I went with the next best thing.
Sure.
It just sounds great. And
do you have big hands?
They're.
Oh yeah,
I just like the feel of the big necks. Like I feel like the sustain is there. It resonates really good. But I use really big strings too. I use 12s.
Oh, that is big.
So it's just I just love it, and it's got the 5-way switch, so I really only use 3 of them. But I love Otis Rush. Like those early records he did, he was playing a Stratocaster, and I think it's like one of the best sounds I've ever heard. So that's my number one for sure.
Very cool. Number two?
I got a 59 Silvertone Espinana.
Is that the one?
It's
Is that the one that I saw you playing?
No, that was the Strada Tone. That's a 56. Right. Yeah.
So what is that Silvertone? What is that like? How is that different from a Strada Tone?
It's like a big fat, big body guitar. Okay. A lot of jump blues players use them. I really use it. You can get that great out of phase T-Bone Walker sound, and then you hit the neck pickup and it's real fat and bassy, and then the bridge pickup like screams pretty good. It's just a really fun guitar.
Can I see that? Is it close by?
Yeah, it's right here.
I'd love to see it if it's not a problem. So let me describe. Okay, so it's a big fat bodied, 2 F holes. Wow, what a thick neck. You can see it.
It's another big neck.
Wow. What kind of pickups are those?
P13s.
Wow. P13. And the 3-way switch is at the bottom.
Yep, it's right here. Yeah.
Very cool looking, man.
It's funny. These are like the Strada Tonys. They keep going up in price. You know, everyone's trying to. I mean, especially like jump blues players or roots players really love them.
Is that semi-hollow or hollow?
What's that?
Fully hollow or semi?
Yeah, it's fully hollow.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, does that feed back a lot, or?
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you play it all the time, so you know how to control it.
Yeah. When I first got it, I was kind of battling volume and feeding back. Yeah, I flipped over one of the pickups or the magnet in one of the pickups, and that makes it out of phase.
Right.
And you can just get that beautiful T-Bone Walker sound.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And that's an actual 59.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a 59.
Where did you buy that? You know, I remember asking you where you bought your Strada Tonys. You told me Fanny's.
Yeah, I got a Fanny's Music. Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know why I remember. You know I remember that because I had interviewed Ellen.
She works there.
Who works there? Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's a small world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I found this one at Carter Vintage Guitars. It's like my favorite guitar shop in Nashville. It's just
I like
everyone's super cool, and there's always amazing stuff in there.
And they're really nice in there.
Yeah, they're super nice.
I had Walter on as my guest, like somewhere in the first 10 or 15 episodes of the show. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And what would be your number 3?
I guess I would go with that Strada Tone. It's a lot of fun. The 56 Strada Tone. Big old neck, perfect for slide. That's usually what I use it for.
Yeah.
I've done a couple gigs with it, just playing that one gig the whole entire time. And then, like, my hand will hurt for a day. So,
man, if your hands hurting with them farm hands and the big fingers, I probably should stay away from that guitar as much as I want to, because my hands aren't nowhere near your size. So, talk about your collection in general. You had some guitars and amps as well.
Yeah, I actually recently just picked up a 65 Super Reverb, and I've been really digging it because I usually play a 58 Fender Deluxe, and I bring a reverb tank with me.
Right.
So I just, crank the Deluxe and then hit it with some reverb. Like, I love Hollywood Fats, and he was really cool at drawing reverb into his blue sound, make it really heavy. So this Super is my first amp I've ever had that actually has reverb built into it.
Very cool. I'm trying to, do you know a guitar player called Smokey Hormel?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you should check him out because he plays a lot of the stuff you play, and that's the stuff he's been all over the place. I interviewed him. You can check him, Smokey Hormel, and I'm almost positive his big influence was Hollywood Fats. Yeah,
like Kid Ramos is another guy that stoked in reverb, blues stuff. It's just a super cool approach, like the West Coast blues thing.
Yeah,
it just sounds really cool. And then it's got tremolo built into it too. It's funny. I mean, most people buy amps with that stuff already built in, but I'm just like kind of old school, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of new for me.
Hey, good.
So I've been playing that Super Reverb a lot, but I mean, my favorite amp is the Basement. I have a reissue 59. I'd love to get an actual 59, but gosh, they're so expensive.
So correct me if I'm wrong. The 59. Isn't that like what the Marshall plexis were modeled after, supposedly?
Oh, I don't know.
The Basements,
the 59 Basement was just like it was meant for the precision bass, and Chicago blues guys like Buddy Guy and stuff started plugging into them and cranking them, and it just sounded killer. And they do. I mean, you start cranking a Basement, it just sounds incredible, but they're so dang loud,
Is that the big one, the big cabinets, big huge cabinet?
Yeah, it's got 4 10s in it.
Yeah, it's massive, man. Well, very cool, man.
Yeah, and depending on the gig, I mean, I'll bring smaller amps. Like, I got a Fender Champ, and a Fender Pro, and Yeah, it just depends on the gig. I don't like to be too loud, but probably most of the time I'm way too loud.
Most people, it seems like most people are like, I'd say of the guys I've interviewed, probably 60%, 65% are Fender guys, vintage Fender amps. That's maybe even higher than that, but yeah, 7% at least. That's the sound that people like. And then the rest is kind of across the board. It's just
a great sound. And it's funny because that Super I bought is the first non-tweed amp I've ever bought. So like I walk in my room and I'm like, something's wrong here. Where's the I got a black face in here.
That is funny, man. Well, you're enjoying it though, right?
Oh, I love it.
Cool.
I'm stoked, man.
Desert Island Discs.
Desert Island Discs.
Top 3.
I would have to say B.B. King's Singing the Blues. That's like one of my favorite records ever. It was before B.B. King was doing his signature vibrato. He was actually trying to play like T-Bone Walker. It was like early late 50s. And it's just, I listen to it all the time. I've heard it a million times and I still go back to it, just like phrasing and space, and it's just killer.
I know I have that record. I'm going to just circle it so I'll make sure I listen to it. It's been a while.
Another one would be Nick Curran's Nightlife Boogie.
Now, who's that? Nick Curran. I've heard that name, but I don't think I've ever listened to anything.
Nick Curran was this guitar player in Austin. Just an incredible blues, rock and roll guitar player and singer. I mean, his voice is unbelievable. Definitely check him out. Some of his early records were like jump blues and swing records, and then as he progressed, it turned into more rock and roll and pretty heavy stuff, man. He actually passed away not too long ago, which was a huge bummer, but his records are incredible. And the Nightlife Boogie one it's real jumpy and swingy. And
you've said that term 3 or 4 times, jump blues. Specifically, what do you mean by that?
Jump blues, like if you listen to early, like B.B. King's first couple of records, like that's jump blues.
Okay.
T-Bone Walker.
It's kind of like swing stuff that swings a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's got like a swing. It's got like a bounce, I like to call it.
Yeah.
Bill Jennings is like my favorite jump blues guitar player.
Bill Jennings?
Bill Jennings, yep. And the third one would have to be Magic Sam's West Side Soul, which is a killer record. I love Magic Sam. He's just, he's got the tremolo going and the reverb going. And
dude, you're an old soul. Yeah, these are some old jams, man. These are not common stuff. Good for you, man. Is there anybody that influenced your playing that people would be surprised to hear?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm more of like a blues guy, but I love people like Cliff Gallup, with Gene Vincent and the Nightcaps.
Yeah.
Like his phrasing and just wackiness is a great word, because, he had that tape echo going and you hit notes and it just kind of like get a little wacky on you. And it was just so cool, I don't know. I love Merle Travis. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people would think I wouldn't know. I don't know.
No, you've talked about tons of your influences. Sometimes,
Yeah.
Man, are you more of a rule breaker or a rule follower?
I guess it depends on the context. You mean like musically?
Any way you feel comfortable. Usually how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a little bit of both. I try to, like when we go to write our records and stuff, it's kind of, I try to model it after what I love, but I also don't follow it like it's a formula. Like you have to do that, and it's got to be that way. A lot of purists of the genre that I like can be really turned off if you don't follow it exactly like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean. I don't agree with it. I think you should. Music is so. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's
personal. It's almost like, how the hell can you how can you follow a formula to outside of a 12-bar blues or an 8-bar,
Exactly.
How do you write formulaically?
Exactly. So I like to take the the influence of it, but try to make it new and relative to people.
Sure.
Today.
Do you write with Dawna, or do you do all the writing?
Well, I do the arrangement of the music, and then Dawna does the writing.
So she does. She does. Well, you said you do the arranging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I do.
Do you do any original stuff though?
Yeah, we do. We do a bunch of original stuff.
That's what I thought.
So I'll do like the music and what I think it'll sound like,
and
I'll come to her with the song, and she'll put her lyrics on it. And we'll do like the harmonies and stuff together. Try to figure out what it'll sound like.
That's fun, man. That's gotta be cool.
It starts with me, just messing around, trying to figure something out.
That's nice, man. That's very cool.
You'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's not.
Have you had any downtime? Like, periods of time where, things were tough, or, any obstacles were in your way and you had to work hard to overcome them?
Man, a few years ago we were playing on Broadway. We were playing like 5 nights a week or something, between these two bars. And we were making pretty good money between the two and playing all the time. And then they both simultaneously closed at the same time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we were just like, well, we went from playing just about every night to no gigs at all. And for a little while, we were kind of bummed out. We were super bummed. But, we kind of realized, like, yeah, we need to, like, get away from Broadway. We need to, like, start touring and,
Is that what ultimately caused the evolution of the record and now the tour you're going to be doing? That's good.
It's kind of, you can get kind of boxed in down there, trying to please people.
Yes.
And we do what we want to do at this point. We're not, if you like it, cool. If you don't, all right.
Yeah, man, there's change the channel. Yeah, man, I hear you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're only looking for people that like what you do. You're not trying to, I always say, the convincing business sucks.
Yeah.
We
just do what we love, and if our passion comes through, cool, and if it doesn't, all right.
Yeah, man. Good for you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing your dad taught you? I'm curious about that, especially because he was a farmer, or your granddad, or both.
Well, I mean, they were just always both. I mean, even my mom, my grandmother, they were all just super supportive. Just do whatever makes you happy. But I mean, the biggest thing they always said was, don't be lazy. That was.
Yeah, because you can't do anything if you're lazy.
There was no time to be lazy about anything.
No.
Yeah. And my grandfather.
Yeah, you don't have too many lazy farmers, man.
No, he was somebody I really looked up to and was always trying to impress. He was so old school that, if he gave you a compliment or something, you'd be like, whoa. You know what I mean? He was super old school. So he'd give you a compliment and you'd just be like, oh my God.
You'd be stoked for the day.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
A different generation,
Yeah.
I mean, those people just worked and worked and worked. And, so everybody, I just try to, I look up to all my family and just try to make them proud, like anybody would.
Sure. Well, dude, you're doing great, man. You freaking move across the country and, things are happening for you.
I do miss them.
Yeah.
I miss them, but other than that, yeah.
Got a record? Do you get back home a lot?
We went there for Christmas. We'll be there like maybe once or twice a year,
Which is about normal.
Yeah. Come home for the holidays once a year or something. We were there, I think in June or July. We were doing like a run through New York, and we were there a couple days.
Very cool. Nice. Where was that New York Blues Festival?
What's that? The
New York State Blues Fest. Where was that?
That was in Syracuse, actually.
Oh, it was. So it was like right there. So you're the hometown kid. Really. You were the hometown really kid, fun. Right?
Yeah. We got to see a ton of people, and we've played there twice. I think it was 2015 or 2016 or something. Yeah, and then this past year. So.
Where are your shows coming up, like for 2019?
Oh, we go to Memphis quite a bit. Obviously, we play in Nashville. We're going near Boston, Albany. We're trying to line stuff up in like Louisville and Columbus, Cleveland.
So pretty major markets.
Yeah. We're trying to hit some major cities, and then we're going to Vegas again to play the Rockabilly Festival out there. And
do you do a lot of rockabilly stuff, like festivals and stuff?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do quite a lot of people. I think they classify us as a rockabilly band. But I think we're kind of more of a blues band, but I don't really care as long as they like it.
Yeah, right. As long as the check clears, man.
Yeah, but I mean, just with anything like music, I don't really think it is like, oh, it's that. I just think, oh, if they like it, cool,
Yeah.
And I love rockabilly, and I love blues, and I love country, and so it doesn't really matter to me.
You ever play with Paul Pagat? Do you know him? From Canada?
I haven't. He's an insane player.
Yeah. Oh, you know who? Yeah, he is. I interviewed him. He's funny as hell. I was laughing so hard when we started that I actually could not look at him for like 5 or 10 minutes because I was just like, I was tearing. I was laughing so hard. So he's a good guy.
I saw him. He did a video for Gretsch. I think he's sponsored by Gretsch or something.
Yes. Incredible.
And God, man. I remember just rewinding it like 50 times. Like, I don't even know where to start. I can't even figure out what he's doing.
With the blonde guitar?
Yep.
He's a monster. There's another guy you ought to check out. Another guy I actually interviewed. His name is Diego Garcia. Do you know him? Goes by El Twangero.
No, I don't know him.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's one of the most amazing guitar players I've met, and out of the 450 that I've interviewed. Really incredible. Diego Garcia. Wow. He plays rockabilly, surf, but it's layered with flamenco. I mean, he grew up in Spain studying under a disciple of Segovia, and he studied classical a lot. And I guess I asked him, I said, man, when you pluck a note, it's so clear. I've never, like, no matter what genre he can be ripping and you can still hear the class. And I said, is that from, and he's like real mellow. He goes, I don't know, he's maybe from the class. He's like, like, just like you just did a few minutes ago, you're like, if people like it, or, I guess I'm doing okay. He's just a regular humble dude, great player. So,
yeah, I'll check him out, man. That's cool.
Diego Garcia. What's been your biggest business and personal wins so far, man? Because you got a lot more wins to go.
Personal win. I don't know, man. I mean, probably starting this band, because I mean, everything we play is exactly what I love, and I don't think a lot of people get to do that. They're either like sidemen doing stuff that they have to do, to pay bills or something, or maybe they're in a band they don't like as much as they would want to or something, because it's not exactly what they want to do.
Sure.
But Dawna and I love the same music. We listen to the same exact music, so we get to play what we love and write what we love. So that's kind of cool,
Man, I'm really happy for you. You've worked hard to do that, man. You could see your enthusiasm in the answer. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard because it's hard for me to play music that I don't like. If I don't like it, I'm probably just going to turn it down, because unless my heart's in it, I don't understand why you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So we got our head in it pretty good. So
that's great, man. Do you have any hobbies?
It's a personal win for both of us,
Man, and it's nice that you said, hey, when we could do this together, which is, another win on top of that.
Yeah, totally. Man.
You have any hobbies or interests outside of music?
Oh, man. That's tough, man, because, I feel like my whole life's just invested in it.
It is.
I used to love baseball. Baseball was, I used to play baseball. And, dirt bikes. I love dirt bikes and four-wheeler. I just don't get to do that stuff as much as I'd like to,
Oh, yeah. Well, you probably wouldn't go dirt bike riding at this point with your hand. That's kind of like maybe a little dangerous as a good professional guitar player.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get on the four-wheeler.
Funniest thing that's...
more hobbies.
What's that? Hey, we all do, man.
Hobbies.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage or in the studio?
Well, I think a funny thing, we were playing in Memphis on Beale Street, and they had the doors open. It's super humid in Memphis. The river's right next to it. And it was like 100 degrees, and then with the humidity, it was like 110. And they opened the doors of this club so people would come in. and we were just sweating and sweating and sweating. And I just kept breaking strings. Like, they would just keep popping. I don't know if it was from the humidity. I don't know what the deal was. Man, it got to the point I broke like 10 strings or something. I mean, it was like every other song I was breaking strings. And like the crowd would like go wild when I broke a string. Right? Yeah.
So they probably thought it was on orchestrated.
Yeah. And the whole time I was getting irritated. It's like, damn, I got to keep changing these strings and like stopping the show. But they thought, they thought it was hilarious, and everyone was going wild every time I broke it. So that was just weird. That is weird, man. Maybe that's like a new thing, man. And then mosquitoes were coming in the club because it was right next to the river.
Oh my god!
And like we were getting bit up while we were playing. It was so funny, man. They don't do that anymore. We'll say that.
Oh, good Lord, man.
They don't open the doors.
Hey, 2 more questions. Best advice you've been given, and who gave it to you?
Man. I don't know. I feel like my mom, she would always say, you got to go do what you got to go do, and you got to, go follow your dream.
Yeah, man.
I remember talking to her before I left, and I was like, should I do this? I could just get a job here and be fine, blah, blah, blah. She's just like, no, you need to go do what you have to do, what's in your head. You have something in your head that you have to go do something. You need to go do it.
Man, that is so cool.
Yeah, and I was like, I think you're right.
That is totally good.
Right. And you can always go back home. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What's going on? What's the downside, right? It doesn't work? Okay, go back.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Yeah.
Last question, and again, you got a ton of time. Anything that you've not done that you regret so far that you should have done?
Anything I regret? Not really, man. I mean, I do miss obviously hanging out with my family and my grandmother and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like you kind of got to do what you got to do, sometimes. No regrets, I guess. Not right now.
Very good, man. No, that's very cool. Dude, listen, I'm really glad we got to hang. Let me tell people where to find you. It's Austin John and Dawna. What's your girlfriend's last name? I'm so sorry. Dawna Zahn. John and Zahn. So is she going to become Dawna John?
Well, my actual last name is Duty, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Dawna Duty. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you keep the maiden name. Whatever you do, it's going to work. Check out Austin John. Check out the Hi-Jivers, man. These guys are rocking. They have a lot of fun. They're great musicians. Austin's a really good player, man, and I really enjoyed seeing him play. I'm glad I got to see him play, and thank you again for being patient, man. And it took me a while to get you back on. And check them out online. There's a ton of stuff for them on YouTube. Again, it's the Hi-Jivers. Let me spell it. It's Hi-Jivers, and you can go to their website, which is pretty robust and very current, and it's updated all the time. It's thehijivers.com, thehijivers.com. And also they are on Facebook, and please check out and order their new record, which you can get from thehijivers.com. It's called Something's Gotta Shake. It's a great album, and I'm assuming that you're going to be hearing a lot more from Austin John, Dawna Zahn, and the Hi-Jivers, man, over the next few years. And I look forward to the next time you come on the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, man. And best of luck to you and your girlfriend together, and best of luck on the upcoming tour. And, man, if you come down to Florida, I'll come check you out, and I'll be the guy in the back yelling, break a string, break a string.
I'll be breaking strings.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this interview, please share it with a friend in your social media channels. We appreciate your support with this. Thanks again to Austin John for spending time with us. I appreciate it. Support the Hi-Jivers. Please listen to their music. Order their music. Something's Gotta Shake. Check them out on Facebook and YouTube as well. And they will be touring throughout Europe. We're in Europe because I got a bunch of people listening in Europe.
We're playing south of London. It's a festival called the Rockabilly Rave. We're playing that in June. And then we're going back in November, and it's at the same location called the Rhythm Riot.
Very cool.
2 pretty big festivals over there. Yeah. And we're working on setting up some other dates around the Rockabilly Rave right now.
Very cool. So you could expect Austin and the Hi-Jivers to be all over Europe, hopefully Germany, Austria, whatever countries they can. Make sure you go to everyonelovesguitar.com, sign up to get on our newsletter list so you and I can connect. And most important, remember that happiness is a choice, so choose wisely. Be nice, go play your guitar, and have fun. Till next time, peace and love, everybody. I'm out. We hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, subscribe to the Everyone Loves Guitar podcast, and you can do this online at everyonelovesguitar.com or on iTunes. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star positive review. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher our show ranks, and higher rankings mean we get to continue speaking with cool, interesting guests on our show. We'll see you on the next episode, and until then, keep playing your guitar and have fun making music.